Welcome to Mathverse. My name is Mr. Bowie. I am thrilled to kick off our math journey together. Today we'll be focusing on total surface area and CSEC past paper questions. You may pause the video at any point in time to work the questions first and then play so that you can see if your solutions are correct. So the first questions we have here goes, the diagram below shows two rectangles M and N with their dimensions expressed in, we can see the dimensions of M and the dimensions of N. Below it says, given that the difference, and we know difference means subtracting, so if we find the area of one, subtract from the area of the other, the areas of the two rectangles is 64. So once we do that, we're supposed to get 64. Show that x squared minus 2x minus 35 equals 0. So when we find the difference and simplify it, we are supposed to get this equation that they have right here. So let's go ahead and do so. So first we're going to write area of M. So area of M minus area of N equals 64. That's what they're saying. When we find the area and subtract, we should get 64. Now, the width of M is x minus 3 and the length is 3x plus 4. Now we know the area means length times width, so we can even simplify the area as length times width minus the same here, just say length 1 times width 1. We don't want to make it seem like we are working with the same widths. So for M, the length is 3x plus 4 times x minus 3, and then we're going to subtract the area of Mn, which is x plus 2 times x minus 3 as well, equals 64. So let's multiply using the distributive property, or we call it the FOIL method. So 3x times x squared. So this is what we're doing right here. We're going to multiply 3x by both of these. And then we're going to do it with, afterwards, we're going to do 4 times both of these. So that's the method that we're going to be using. So 3x times x is going to give us 3x squared. 3x times minus 3 is going to give us minus 9x. And then we move on to 4 times x, that's 4x. And then 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. Put our minus here. We're going to have to keep a little bracket here because these terms are going to be subtracted. So now we have x times x, which gives us x squared. Same thing we're doing over here. And x times minus 3 is minus 3x. 2 times x, that's 2x. And 2 times minus 3, that's minus 6, equals 64. Now we simplifying, so we have 3x squared minus 9x plus 4x. That's going to give us minus 5x minus 12. And now we're going to simplify. I'm showing all the steps. I'm not skipping any steps. Simplifying the bracket here. Oh, we should close the bracket right here. Yeah. So we have x squared minus 3x. Oops, not minus 3x. We're simplifying. It's going to minus x minus 6 is equal to 64. Now we can combine. So this x inside the bracket will become minus since it's subtracting. So we're going to have 3x squared minus x squared, which is going to leave us with 2x squared. Then we're going to have minus 5x. Inside the bracket we have a minus x, but the subtraction outside is going to make it become positive. So we're going to have minus 5x plus x, which is minus 4x. Then we have the minus 12 here is a minus 6 in the bracket. Again, the minus outside the bracket is going to turn it into a positive. Minus 6 is positive 6. So it's going to be 12 plus 6, which is going to be minus 6, is equal to 64. Now right here, they want us to have 0 on our right hand side. So it means we're going to bring over our 64 and simplify. So we're going to have 2x squared minus 4x. And if we bring over 64, it's going to be minus. Minus 6 minus 64 is minus 70. So it's minus 70 equals 0. When we look, we're still not getting x squared minus 2x minus 35. However, we can simplify the u by factoring 2 because all of 4 terms here are multiples of 2. So we can divide throughout using 2. So we can divide by 2 here, by 2 here, by 2, all throughout by 2. Therefore, we're going to have x squared minus 2x minus 35 equals 0. So we have proven that the difference of the area of m and n is indeed equal 64 and can be simplified into this quadratic equation. All right, so that's the first one right there for us. All right, let's, oops, let me erase right here. Let's move on to our next question. So here's our next question. The diagram below shows the front view of Pinky's house, which includes 4 windows and a door. So it has 4 windows and a door. So we can see the dimensions of the base, 13 meter, height up to the ceiling, not all the way up to the top, is 7.5, and then for the roof is 3.4. That's the height. So we add those, we can get the total height. On the way, it says calculate the total surface area of the front view of Pinky's house, inclusive of the windows and doors. So we calculate the area inclusive of everything with windows and doors. They're not, see, we're doing it as if they're not removed as yet. Those sections aren't cut out as yet. We need the entire surface area. So here, this is a compound shape with inclusive of our rectangle and a triangle. So what we can do, we can do a little divide, can separate, so like here. Up here would also be 30 meters, and we already know the height, 3.4. So we can find the area of the rectangle and the area of the triangle and combine them to get the area for a shape. So that's what we're going to do. So to find the area, since here is where we got it working out, we can do working out. Let's find the area of the rectangle, area of triangle first. So we can, I like to name the shape, so we can say shape A, and this is B. So area of A, it's a triangle, so it's half base times height. So it'll be half times the base, which is 13, times the height, which is 3.4. And we use our calculator. Let me get my calculator. So we use a calculator here. So this is a paper 2 questions. So we go half is 0.5 times 13 times 3.4, and we get 22.1 square meters, or we can say meters squared. Now we need the area of our rectangle. So you can see area of B. So we know shape B, which is length times width, rectangle. The length is 13, while the width is 7.5. Use our calculator again. 13 times 7.5 equal 97.5 meters squared. Now they ask a total, and we can see that word right here is capitalized, so it means that we need to add them. So we can say total surface area, for short TSC, equals, and we're going to add the areas now. So it's area of rectangle plus the area of a triangle. So that's 22.1 meters squared plus 97.5 meters squared meters. So let's add those. 119.6 meters squared. So that's the total surface area inclusive of the windows and doors. Let's move on to our next question here. So we have follow-up questions. This is usually how CXC does it. So first follow-up question now. The windows and the doors are made of shatterproof glass. The door is 1.2 meter wide and 2.8 meter high. Each of the four windows is 1.8 meter wide and 1.4 meter high. Determine the minimum amount of glass needed for the door and the four windows. All right, so we no longer need to go back up. You can choose to go up and enter in the dimensions, but we can visualize it here. So the windows, the door first is 1.2 times 2.8. So let's enter here. So 1.2. This is 2.8 meters, and all windows are 1.8 by 1.4. So for example, this would be 1.8, and that side would be 1.4, and it goes for all of them. So there are one door and four windows. So let's find a door first. So area of door. All of these are rectangles, so it's length times width, which is going to be 2.8 times 1.2. Use your calculator again. You get 3.36. Meters squared. Then we need the area of windows. Now there are four windows, so it's going to be, and all of them are identical, so it's 4 times length times width. So we can say 4 times length times width. So it's 4 times the length, which is 1.8, times the width, which is 1.4. So 1.8 times 1.4, 2.52 multiplied by 4, get 10.08 meters squared. So they want to find the minimum amount of glass needed for the door and for windows. So therefore, minimum amount of glass needed is going to equal 3.36 plus 10.08, and this will give us 13.44 meters squared. And they say minimum because you can have spoilage. It's ready to have more than less, so that's the least they would need because that's the exact measurement. Now, the third follow-up question is, Pinky covers the front